I don't consider myself divorced anymore. I just consider myself unmarried currently. We're going to leave what we came in with. Everything that we built together, we're just going to split or give away or sell. Especially at my big age right now, I'm 45. I'm not marrying somebody who's 25, right? Like the lowest would be like 35. I know of two separate people who are getting married, and prenup was an issue for one, and prenup was not an issue for the other one. Typically, I would reserve this for the membership because this is going to be Bruce with the T. You know, messy stories that I've heard, people that are around me, and that I'm going to share. Obviously, keeping people's names out of it because I've already been accused of people saying, "Hey, that was my story that you told on the podcast." I was like, "Yeah, but nobody knows it's you because I didn't say your name." Sometimes I get permission, sometimes I do not. But you guys would never know who it is. But I have been getting some flack, so I'm gonna put that in the memberships. But I am gonna tell these two stories because I think that they're interesting. Now, everybody knows, if you're a fan of this show, that I was once married. Since I said once married, that means I'm divorced. I've been divorced for, I don't know, 12, 13, 14 years. I don't even consider myself a divorcee anymore. It was so long ago. It's been longer I've been not married after the marriage than I actually was with the person. So complete, total, from beginning of dating to the end of the divorce. Like, it's been more time passed than completely with the person. I don't consider myself divorced anymore. I just consider myself unmarried currently. I never even thought about getting a prenup in the beginning. And I had companies that I had started. I trusted this person unequivocally. And even in a divorce, as I had companies and a good job, there was never a fight financially. Our divorce was really simple. Well, simple, financially simple, right? It was like, hey, look, we're going to leave what we came in with. Everything that we built together, we're just going to split or give away or sell. Okay. That wasn't a fight at all for either one of us. It was tough financially for both of us, but we got through it. If I were to get remarried again, and I'm not opposed to getting remarried, we got to do a prenup. And most of the women that I date, I would say, well, you would need a prenup because you're coming in with stuff just for yourself. I would never come in and try to take what you have. What we build together, we're gonna have to work that out. But I think it's safe to do a prenup to protect yourself, especially at my big age right now. I'm 45. I'm not marrying somebody who's 25, right? Like the lowest would be like 35, right? And they have things that they would be bringing into the marriage, and they need to protect themselves financially. Like I said, I don't have any ill intentions, but it just makes sense to protect yourself financially. Some people take real offense when you bring up prenups and marriages, and it tends to be younger people because they don't understand that when you get to a certain age, you've built up equity or wealth or both. And like, if things don't work out, you kind of want to keep those things. You don't want to give somebody half of something that they didn't have any part of, half of something that we built together, of course, but half of something that they didn't have any part of. No, absolutely not. I know of two separate people who are getting married, and prenup was an issue for one, and prenup was not an issue for the other one. And I said that the one that the people that were getting married where it was an issue, it shouldn't be. And the people that are getting married that it wasn't an issue, it should be. I'll explain. So let's start with the people where it is an issue. Young woman, young man, early 30s, late 20s, early 30s, getting married. They've been together for years. Okay, 7 years. They're getting married. She brings up, hey, what do you think about a prenup? He says, jokingly. I'm not too worried about it because if we get divorced, I'm just put everything in my mama's name. It's kind of hard to take what you don't own. She takes offense to it. She takes offense to that joke. Like, what do you mean? Are you already planning to get divorced? Like, nah, it's just a joke. It's just a joke. A poor joke, admittedly. A very poor joke. Now they're having issues. And she was like, well, okay, well, we should do a prenup. And he was like, well, what you mean? Like, why we need to do a prenup? Like, we good the way things are. She's insisting on it. And so much so that it's being accused, she is of being accused of already planning for a divorce in her mind. And that's not what a prenup is, right? A prenup is a protection for in case ish happens. Look, you don't go into a marriage thinking that you're going to be divorced. You don't. You go into a marriage thinking this is going to last for a while till death do you part. That's what you say in front of your friends and family. They sometimes they don't. A lot of times they don't. And it's okay to protect yourself financially. So my advice to her was, look, you have assets before him. You need to protect yourself. If he is having an issue, that means that there's a lack of trust in the relationship. And also, why does he have an issue? It's your stuff. He didn't have any claim to it. Why should he have any claim to it? You're not saying you want everything that he has before y'all together. You're not even saying you want everything that he gains while y'all are in the marriage. You're just saying, I just want my stuff that I came in with when I leave. This shouldn't be an issue. When I was a kid and I brought my toys over my friend's house, I'm leaving my friend's house with my toys unless he wants to borrow it, and he can borrow it, but he got to give it back. I don't understand how that it's complicated. The only time I leave stuff for people is when I bring stuff for people. If I'm coming into the marriage and I'm saying this is all ours, okay then. But if I said, hey, hold up, this house that I bought before I met you, this condo, this townhouse, this car, this company that I started, all of this before I met you, before we decided to say I do, that ain't ours. That's mine. I will share, but if we decide that things aren't going to work out, I'm leaving with it. As Denzel said, I'm leaving with something, and I'm leaving with what I came in with. So I told her, I don't think you're wrong in this one. You need to stand 10 toes down. And this says something about your relationship, that there's a lack of trust, and maybe y'all should do counseling before you get married. This shouldn't be a point of contention. Now, the other situation where it's not a point of contention, and I feel like it should be. Gentleman is getting married to a younger woman. Younger as in he's in his early 30s, she's in her early 20s, okay? He's got bread. He's got property that he owns, 401ks, retirement, cars, the whole nine. She does not. She lived at home with her parents. She now lives with him. He likes that situation, which I feel was problematic in the first place. He likes the situation because he likes that she's dependent on him financially because he has a sense of control. I told him that's very problematic that you feel like you need to have control and be controlling over her, and that you want somebody beneath you. Those are issues that you need to talk to a therapist. No, I don't. Okay, well, I'm telling you, as a grown man, that's an issue. He has decided he will not get a prenup. I said, I think that's a bad idea. He said, no, it's not a bad idea. You know, I trust her. I was like, it's not about trust. It's about protection. You need to protect yourself. That's all I'm saying. She literally has nothing. You have everything. She's young. People change as they get older. Who's to say that she's going to still want the current situation that she's in with you? What if she decides that she wants to have more independence? that she wants to have money, that she doesn't want to have to depend on you to ask for certain things and to get certain things. How are you going to respond to that? What if what I think you will have an issue with is her growing up and maturing and wanting her own things? You either deal with that or you decide to get a divorce. You don't have a prenup. Now she's entitled to half of everything of not only what you came in with, what y'all built with, because you decided that you wanted to have somebody that you had control over financially.
Join the conversation and follow the Unsolicited Perspectives podcast on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your audio podcasts.